AITA for telling my wife that my mother will never love her and to stop trying. I have been married to my wife for 2 years and the best way to describe my mother is cold. She not's rude or anything, it's just disinterested in my wife. The best way I can explain my mom is that she is tired. She had a really hard life. Doesn't have much affection left to give and she rarely gets close to anyone. It's pure disinterest and she can't bring herself to care about new people. She's a retired old lady that just want to sit on the porch, not make small talk with people. I've explained this to my wife before and told my mother's story. We had a little get-together at my mom's house. My mom doesn't like it when people bring food. She works all day to make a spread and it's like her thing. She just wants to provide for the guests. My wife came from work and she brought food. Potatoes salad. I stop her from bringing it in. The whole night she is just bothering her when she was on the porch. Asking her if she wants to go on a shopping trip. When my mom asks for some quiet she still talks on. When I was walking by she asked me to take my wife away from her. This made my wife upset, but I did it since I could see mom was getting close to the end of her rope. We had a talk in the car what that was all about. And she just wants to be loved by her mill. She is being nice so she doesn't get why she doesn't like her. I told her my mother will never love her and to just stop. What she is doing is actively making her dislike you and to leave the women alone. She called me a jerk and hasn't spoken to me since. Edit was told to include this comment. From an info comment. Almost never. Most of the time if people join her on the porch it's very little or small talk or just join her. Watching the garden. She doesn't care how loud they are in the house or anything like that. She likes watching others have a good time. More of an observer than anything. She asked for quiet with my wife since she was just going on for a while. My sister was out there and told me mom tried politer ways to ask for her to be quiet and it didn't work. Also the direct request didn't work with my wife and she kept going. She's a retired old lady that just want to sit on the porch, not make small talk with people. Honestly, your mom sounds like my life goals. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. NTA. It sucks for your wife, but let people be. Not everyone will be liked by everyone and your wife should be old and mature enough to understand that. NTA. Leave cranky old people alone. The older I get the more I understand and appreciate this statement. If your wife really wants your mother to like her then she should just ignore her. Say thanks for the food and leave. A lot of people would believe that's being rude to the host, however the gift of kindness is accepting people for who they are. Not trying to force them to be someone you want them to be. AITA. It sounds like your mom is doing her best, but I also realize that some people really do find it hard to just sit quietly. Those people should not be around your mother. Maybe wife shouldn't be visiting with her. There are people who would pay to be able to just ignore their mill. It's not a hard ask. Info. Does "stop trying" include your wife not having to spend time with your mother anymore? Damn, instead of just saying, "Hey babe, don't try so hard," let her warm up to you. You just went full on abandon all hope, ye who enter into my family. I like old people like your mom. Would love to sit quietly in the garden with her. I can't stand it when people talk too much around me when I want peace. Also have a thing where I don't like people who try too hard. Your mom is so relatable. I don't think you're an asshole. You were just trying to tell the truth and your wife has a hard time accepting when reality doesn't meet her expectations. I hope tensions will ease up for you guys again soon. Soft YTA. Your mother-in-law cooked a feast for you and her. That's her way of showing love. That's what you should have said instead of saying the love is not there. Nah, but you could have been more compassionate to your wife. I love you so much and I see how hard you're trying. My mom likes her isolation and she will warm up faster if you respect her needs. You're a very likable person and I'm really sorry you won't have a close relationship with her. NTA. I think that attachment styles and love languages are different here and causing all the issues. Your wife still thinks that she can get her Mill to love her. Are there some patterns in her life that make her wish to be loved? Perhaps let her down easy. But I know it is hard when some people have that I need to be loved syndrome. They get hurt. Hopefully you understand where she is coming from and help her understand not everyone will appreciate her. NTA. I don't think your wife has bad intentions at all. But she has to realize you can't force a relationship with someone. Particularly when you're treating them the way you'd want to be treated rather than the way they want to be treated. If your mom were being actively disrespectful to your wife, I would call you an AH for not standing up for her. But it sounds like your mom just wants to be left alone. NTA. Your wife isn't being nice. Nice would be treating your mother the way your mother wants to be treated, not the way your wife wants to treat her. I think saying love in the manner you did was probably not the most tactful way to say it, but tact wasn't working. NTA. But there may be a better way to handle this. Your wife wants her Mill to love her, and your mom just doesn't have the bandwidth. Maybe you haven't communicated to your wife that her approach is having the opposite effect. Telling your wife that your mom will never love her isn't helpful. It might be true, but it's unhelpful. Your mom needs quiet and your wife is taking that from her. Your mom shows her love for her family by cooking for them. And your wife bringing food says to your mom that her food isn't good enough. Your wife is undermining herself because she can't or won't see past what she, your wife, would want instead of what your mom needs. They are both talking, and their messages are similar, but they aren't hearing each other. Info. Why does your mom ask people to come over and be quiet? All the people or just your wife? NTA. My husband's elderly aunt is exactly the same as OP's mom. In context, my husband was raised mostly by her spinster aunt. She prefers being by herself, reason why she never married. When I first met her, I tried to get her approval a lot. Made dinner for her, invited her to go out and such. She always had the same dismissive behavior with me, so after a while, I gave up on it, and after not trying anymore, we sort of got along better. I left her alone and she was happy. Sometimes, by not trying we get what we are aiming for, I guess. NTA. Your wife is not respecting your mom's boundaries. Tell her if she really wants your mom to even like her. Step 1 is respecting her requests for space and to not bring food over unasked for. Those are not unreasonable requests at all. My first thought is that your mom is probably dealing with depression. Your wife has ideas about how to be pleasant and nice to others. But it doesn't sound like she's considering how your mother would want to be approached. Some people do just want to be left alone, though it can be a sign of depression. Impossible to know without her being evaluated. But it could also be that she's just particular. For example, I like sitting quietly and enjoying a nice view with a cold beer or hot coffee. My kid is one of those there can't be silent moment people. I love him, but we had to have a talk about how I love his company, but if we're doing my thing, he should be aware how I like things, and when we do his thing, I adopt his excitement and chatter. It's just meeting halfway and we both get to share something we enjoy. It's possible your mother would be okay with your wife sitting down next to her on the porch with zero chatter, just sitting together. Totally NTA, but your wife is. She talks but doesn't listen. Not you telling your wife not to bring food and her still showing up with potato salad. NTA. NTA. Considering you two are fully married, I assume she isn't new to your mother's temperament. Your wife needs to be an adult and realize she cannot force the connection she wants with your mother. NTA. Sometimes in life we just have to accept people for who they are and the actual bond we have with them. Not aim for an idealized imaginary relationship. There's obviously exceptions for abuse or rudeness, but it sounds like your mom is civil when not pushed beyond her boundaries. NTA. Your mom wants to be left the hell alone. Your wife has an innate desire to be loved by her and or dote on her. Oil and water don't mix. Keep them apart as best you can.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.